You sit down to meditate every morning, 10 minutes, 15. You close your eyes. You concentrate. You follow the technique. You breathe. You repeat the mantra. And at the end, you open your eyes and think, I meditated today. But nothing has changed. The same thoughts, the same fears, the same emptiness. What if everything you've been told about meditation is mechanical? What if your entire spiritual practice has become just another routine, like going to the office? What if the very effort to become peaceful is what prevents peace? In 1986, a man stood before an audience for the last time. His name was Jiddu Krishnamurti. He was 90 years old. This would be his final public talk, and what he said that day was so radical, so uncompromising, that it shattered every comfortable spiritual belief his listeners held. This is not a cult of personality. The speaker abhors all that, worshiping somebody. He didn't come to comfort. He didn't come to give you a method. He didn't come to be followed. He is not your guru, thank God. He is not your leader. He is not your savior. What Krishnamurti offered wasn't a teaching to adopt. It was an invitation to investigate, not his words, but your own mind, to see, not to believe, to question everything, your gods, your prayers, your meditation, your very desire for enlightenment. This wasn't a lecture about spirituality. It was a dismantling of everything spiritual. Today, we simply invite ourselves to witness what happens when we stop trying to become spiritual and recognize the mechanical nature of all our seeking. This contemplation offers a quiet space to understand how seeking itself may be the obstacle and what remains when effort dissolves. What is religion? Not the word, not the concept. What is it actually? Look around. Temples that cost millions, churches covered in gold, rituals performed 5 times a day, priests murmuring words they may not even understand, people offering garlands to stone idols. Krishnamurti mentioned a specific temple. You know the temple nearby called Tirupati. They earn, I believe, 500,000 every 3 days. 500,000 every 3 days. He looked at all of this and said, God and money are always together. That's how the Catholic Church was built. Immense treasures, extraordinarily valuable jewels, everything you call religion, the temples, the prayers, the worship, all of it is made by man. The gods you bow to, the scriptures you memorize, the ceremonies you attend, man-made, constructed, built from fear, from the desire for reward, from the need for security. You pray because you want something in return. A better job, a healthier child, peace of mind. You pray and expect that some entity will give you something, from a refrigerator to a car or a better husband. This is what organized religion has always been, a transaction. But Krishnamurti asked, if you put all that aside, the prayers, the worship, offering garlands to some idol, what remains? What is that which is unnameable? That intelligence, supreme, immeasurable, that has no relationship whatsoever with all our prayers, with all our temples? If you are an intelligent human being, you must put all this aside, not become cynical, but truly investigative. Do you have that kind of brain? A brain that investigates not only externally, but your own thoughts, your own consciousness, your own pain and suffering. Krishnamurti made a crucial distinction in that final talk. He separated the brain from the mind. The brain, your brain, is inside your skull, the center of all knowledge, all theories, opinions, prejudices, everything is stored there. All thoughts, all fears. Think of it as a hard drive, storing, repeating, calculating everything you've ever learned. Because the brain is built on knowledge, on experience, on tradition, it is always limited. You were born in India, and you say, I am Indian. You are encapsulated in that, or Russia, or America. You are a machine. Don't feel insulted. You are a machine that repeats, or says you are different, but still, a machine. Don't imagine there is something divine in you. The computer will also tell you that. But then Krishnamurti pointed to something else. He called it mind. And the mind is the space in which the hard drive exists. Immeasurable. You cannot store space. You cannot program it. It simply is. The mind has no relationship with the brain, but it can communicate to the brain. But the brain cannot communicate with it. Not your mind. Not something you possess. Something beyond the brain entirely. Something that doesn't belong to you or to anyone. The brain can imagine infinite things, but it cannot touch that which is beyond knowledge, because the brain is limited by knowledge, and the mind, immense because it is not yours, is beyond all limitation. Can you observe your own thoughts without being the thinker? Can you see your fear without being the one who is afraid? Can you watch the machinery of your brain without becoming part of that machinery? Now we come to the heart of what Krishnamurti said in that final talk. Meditation. When you meditate, what are you doing? You sit down, you close your eyes, you try to concentrate on your breath, a mantra, an image. Your mind wanders. You pull it back. I must not wander. Come back. You repeat this for half an hour. Then you get up and say, well, I have meditated. Krishnamurti said, this is not meditation at all. It is merely a process of achievement. It is like an employee becoming a manager. Any conscious effort to meditate is part of your discipline of the office. Because you say, if I meditate, I will have a quiet mind, or I will enter into another state. The word meditation also means to measure, which means to compare. So, your meditation becomes mechanical. You are exercising energy to concentrate, and that concentration divides. Concentration is always division. You want to concentrate on this, but thought wanders. So you say, I mustn't wander. Come back. Is this meditation? Or is it self-hypnosis? Listen carefully now. Is there a different kind of meditation? One that has nothing whatsoever to do with will, nothing to do with measurement, nothing to do with time, one that is not routine, not mechanical? Is there a meditation in which there is no sense of comparison, no reward and punishment? Krishnamurti said, the speaker says there is, but you cannot reach it through will. You cannot reach it by giving all your energy to something. There is no path. It requires a meditation that has nothing whatsoever to do with will, with our energy that says, I must meditate, that has absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with effort. What does this mean? It means don't achieve silence now. Don't sit down to meditate. You cannot do this. First, begin very humbly, very, very humbly, and therefore very gently. Don't pressure, don't direct, don't say, I must do this. I need not describe. I need not describe because otherwise you will run after descriptions. Because the description is not the real. The description of the moon is not the moon. What do you think of Krishnamurti's view on meditation? Share your thoughts in the comments. Look outside your window, the tree, the sky, the light falling on things. See without naming, just see. Breathe. When you see the falseness of mechanical meditation, truly see it, not think about it. It drops, not because you dropped it, not because you made an effort, but because you saw it. Like when you see a snake, you don't need to make an effort to avoid it. The seeing is the action. And then the brain is quiet, not silenced by will, not controlled by intention, not made quiet. It is quiet. And being quiet, it has infinite space. Does your brain ever become quiet? Your brain, thinking, fearing, your work, your family, your children, thought, which is time. Does your brain ever become quiet? Not through drugs, not through alcohol. You drug yourself when you believe. You drug yourself and say, yes, this is right. The Buddha said so. You are drugging yourself all the time. Therefore, you have no energy of the kind that is necessary for the penetration into something immense. Krishnamurti made another distinction between invention and creation. Invention is based on knowledge. Engineers improve the airplane based on what they know. Scientists develop new technologies based on previous discoveries. All invention is based on knowledge, and knowledge being always limited, inventions must always be limited. But creation is something entirely different. Creation has nothing to do with invention. What is creation? What is life? Life in the tree, life in the grass. Not what they do, but the beginning of life, the thing that lives. You can kill it, but it is still there in another, like a bird. You cannot kill that bird. There is another bird. So what makes a bird? What is the creation behind all this? Krishnamurti asked this question over and over, and then he refused to answer. The origin is unnameable. The origin is absolutely silent. It is not going about making noise. Creation is something absolutely sacred. It is the most sacred thing in life. This is not something you can think about. This is not something you can achieve through any practice, any technique, any method. It is what remains when everything the man made falls away. Before he ended, Krishnamurti gave a warning. He spoke about computers. In 1986, he saw what was coming. The computer can do almost everything that man can do. It can invent all your gods, all your theories, your rituals, far better than you will ever be. Your brain is already a machine, conditioned, repetitive, programmed by culture, by society, by evolution. And now, machines can replicate even this. What then are you as a human being? Krishnamurti wasn't being pessimistic. He was pointing to the urgency of now, not tomorrow, not gradually, now. He ended that final talk with these words. Creation is something very sacred. It is the most sacred thing in life. And if you have made a mess of your life, change. Change today, not tomorrow, not next week, not after you finish watching this, not when you feel ready. Today, if you are uncertain, find out why and be certain. If your thought is not straight, think straight, logically. Unless all that is prepared, established, you cannot enter into this world, into the world of creation. This was his final teaching, his last public words. In 1986, He didn't leave you with a practice. He didn't leave you with a method. He didn't leave you with comfort. He left you with a question that cannot be answered by thought. And then he did something extraordinary. He asked the audience, "Do you want to sit together quietly for a while?" And they did. No more words. No more explanations. No more teachings. Just silence. Because that's all there is, really. When everything else falls away, the gods, the gurus, the methods, the effort, the seeking, what remains is silence. Not the silence you achieve, not the silence you create, but the silence that is already there. That has always been there. The silence that creates. What do you think of Krishnamurti's final message? Do you agree? Disagree? Share your opinion in the comments. If something was seen here, there is nothing to do with it. If nothing was seen, no practice will help. The truth isn't in one more teaching. It is in the silence that remains when you stop seeking. When did you last see your mind as a machine? Not judge it, just see it. What did you notice? Share in the comments below. If this resonated, we invite you to explore more contemplations on this channel. Not to accumulate knowledge, but to continue questioning what you think you know.